Chairman, Honorary Secretary, Faridabad Local Center, registered invitees and expert speaker. Today we are here to celebrate World Telecommunication Day. The today theme is empowering the least developed countries through information and communication technologies. As we all know, light is a pretty universal symbol of truth, knowledge, and understanding. It acts as a guide, remove darkness. So we will start today's event with virtual lamp lighting. Now let me join to invite our chairman for welcome note. The chairman, sir, for welcome note.
Very good evening to all. It gives me immense pleasure to extend a very warm welcome to all IE members and respected participants. I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to our participants who have spared their valuable time from their very busy schedule. Today, the 17th May is celebrated every year as a World Telecommunication and Information Society Day since 17th May 1969. This year, the theme is empowering the least developed countries through information and communication technologies. Information and communication technology have been transforming the way people to communicate, learn, and do business. ICTs are also empowering nations to achieve sustainable development goals and subsequently to improve economics. Today, we have with us very knowledgeable, very learned, honorable keynote speaker, Dr. Vaige Avasti from Manav Rachana Research Innovation Center. And he will further enrich all of us on this theme. Over to Pankaj.
Thank you, sir. Now, let me join to invite our today's speaker, Dr. Yogendra Kumar Avasti. Dr. Yogendra Kumar Avasti received the BSc Electronics and MSc Electronics and Computational Physics degree from Bhimrao University, Agra, and PhD RF and Microwave Electronics from Delhi University. He was a guest faculty at the University of Delhi and Central Electronics Engineering Research Institute, Pilani, Rajasthan, and currently working as professor with the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, MRIIRS, Faridabad. He has published more than 90 articles and has also 15 patents, 6 granted, 9 under process, and published 2 books chapter. His recent research interests include modeling of frequency, passive microwave component, microwave antenna for LTE and 5G and 6G applications, metamaterial, RF power transfer, and energy harvesting, MIMO receiver system, etc. He is an editor-in-chief of MR International Journal of Engineering and Technology and working as a reviewer of several referred journals such as IEEE Antenna and Propagation Magazine, IEEE Axis, IEEE Transaction on Antenna and Propagation, Applied Computational Electromagnetic Society. So welcome, Dr. Avasti. You can take the control.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful introductions and good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, give me please 1 minute to share the screen.
Here.
Yeah, it is visible.
Yeah, visible.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you very much to all of you to invite me and give this opportunity to interact the audience. And today is a World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. So on this, I will try to explain about how to empower the least developed countries through ICT. So first of all, we will break this conversation in 3 steps. First, we talk about what is information communication technology, and then we'll come to the least developed countries and how to we'll make the strategies to how to empowering them. So the first of all, we think about what is the ICT. The ICT is having sort of includes in technology used for processing, transforming, and sorting the informations through electronic media. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes.
Okay, so that's through the electronic media. And for this, to gather the informations, we need some kind of devices and some networks and some softwares, and simultaneously some services also be needed for this purpose. And that enables the communications, then data management, and then information. This is all about the ICT. The ICT means information, communication, and technology. So need informations to communicate and gathering the informations and sharing the informations to the others through electronic.
Sorry, screen is not shared right now.
Screen is not shared.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was shared earlier, but somehow disconnected.
Maybe I think maybe that's light is off now. Give me 1 minute, please. Sorry, light has gone now. So due to that internet is disconnected. So please wait for a few minutes and then I just start sharing the screen again.
Okay. In the meantime, you can continue if you want.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay, sir. So now come to the second point, and that point is the least developed countries and the difference between these two, underdeveloped countries and the least developed countries. Identically, both are same, but have minor difference. The least developed countries are rated on the based of some several parameters, and that's low income as well as the weak human resource, economic vulnerabilities. That's high vulnerability will be there. And if you talk about the least developed countries is identified by the United Nations, but it is around I think maybe that is 40 or less than 40 countries, and it will be periodically revised, this list, after 3 years. But underdeveloped countries is always compared with the developed countries, which having the best industrialization and having the best infrastructures, and as well as the per capita income. So these are the two basic difference between the least developed countries and underdeveloped countries. And now come to the point, how to empowering the least developed countries through ICT. So that is our today's agenda. And now we will break the entire lectures in 10 points and try to make how this ICT will help the least developing countries to empowering them. So the point number 1 is there, to develop such kind of infrastructures which is required for the proper ICT. and enhance ICT infrastructures by improving the access to the affordable and reliable internet connectivity and establishing the telecommunication. I think, sir, you have already my PPT. Can you share that PPTs with all the peoples? Sir, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
you are
sir.
audible.
I think
Pankaj, you
I
have
already
the
shared
PPT? Pankaj,
Yeah.
you have the PPT?
PPT with
Sir,
Sonuji.
not with me right now.
Okay, we are sending you just 2 minutes. We are just sending you 2 minutes.
Sir, already I have that already shared. So please, can you share the same on behalf of me?
Okay, sir. Please wait.
Inder sir, if you have, you can also share.
I have shared with you, Pankaj. You can use that. I have shared on your WhatsApp, please. We have a PDF file.
Yeah.
No, it's visible?
Please go to page number 2, sir.
Okay. This one?
We are discussing about how to, means we are discussing here the strategies, how to empowering the least developing countries, which is can have a transformative impact on the social economic development. So we will break that entire presentations in 10 points, and we are planning the strategies in 10 points. So we'll come point number 1, that is the develop a appropriate infrastructures for ICT. So there is enhancement ICT infrastructures by improving the access, affordable and reliable internet connectivity, establishing telecommunication networks, and expanding mobile phone coverage in remote areas where the net is not possibly accessed through the line or maybe other medium. So we can use the mobile phones and extend the coverage to access the informations at the remote areas. And this required the investment in the broadband connectivities to providing the proper connectivity to them, and using the optical fibers network and through the satellite also. So we can use today's DTS, and the people's provide after sending some information through satellites, and they can broadcast the informations through satellites to the TV, DTS, direct to home services. The people can access the TVs in the remote area, so they can access the informations and get the informations and the rules and regulations which are provided by the governments or the private sectors. So they can easily means that can get updated themselves. So the first of all, we require the infrastructures to get empowering the least developing countries. Number 2 points is there is a detailed skill development. So we can aware the persons who can skilled related to the ICT. So promote the digital literacy and provide training programs to develop ICT skills among the population, including the government officials and entrepreneurs and the students who can understand the detailed areas to detailed informations, and then share the informations to the other persons or the society at large. So the populations can detail skilled. They can be done through the vocational training centers, or maybe you can use the community learning centers and partnerships with the educational institutions. Means in the nearby, there are several institutions is already opens in the least developing countries. So we can aware them and to get the information from the institutions, and they can aware the society at a large. And now the third point is here the government services. So we can talk about the e-government services, and that's also be required ICT, and that's implement the e-government initiative to enhance the efficiency, transparency, and accessibility of the public services. What are the services available to the public? They can be easily, they have some transparency in that services, and efficiency should be better, and include the online platforms for the citizens, engagement, digital identification systems, and e-taxation. So can easily access, they can pay all taxes carefully, and they can be corruption free if it is go for online. So the e-government can be streamline the administrative process and reduce the corruptions. So that is the major concerns in the least developed countries is the corruption parts. The peoples are not aware with the ICT, so they cannot going through the online and payment and all type of taxations. So that is the reasons the peoples go for corruption. So avoiding the corruptions from the from the society. So that's ICT is also playing the very important role or the vital roles in this case. And the point number 4 is here the e-commerce and retail entrepreneurship. So we can develop some kind of platforms which can provide the environment conducive to e-commerce and retail entrepreneurship by supporting the establishments of online marketplace, facilitating retail payment system, and providing business development support to the startups and small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. So that is also very helpful if you providing that kind of marketplaces to the society, which developing themselves through the ICT, and this can be create new opportunities for least developing countries to participate in the global digital economy if it is going for online platform. Otherwise, they are making the manual transactions maybe in their own currencies, and they cannot be communicate or they cannot be participate in the global digital economy. So that is the fourth one criteria. This is very important to developing means empowering those countries. And the fifth one is the digital infrastructures and health and the education. So there is another important facets which is providing empowering the least developing countries, that is digital infrastructures developed for the healthcare and simultaneously for the education. And during the COVID, we can understand that every countries means whatever they are, the developed countries or underdeveloped countries, they all are needed the digital infrastructures to communicate the educations. So in last 2 years, we are already have taken classes online. So that is only possible through the good quality of ICT. So the leverage of ICT is to improve the access to the quality healthcare and education, implement the telemedicines and mobile health solutions to reach the remote areas where the doctor is not possible. Means that every time you cannot having the hospitals in the remote areas, so we can provide the telemedicines and mobile health solutions to the peoples with limited healthcare facilities, and use e-learning platforms that digital contents enhance the educational opportunities. We already, the government has so many platforms with information from there. Am I audible, sir? Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir.
Okay.
I muted.
E-learning platforms, how much time we have to complete? Sir,
you
how
can
much
continue, sir.
Okay. The use the e-learning platforms and digital contents to enhance the educational opportunities, especially in underserved communities. So we can easily get educated them through the e-platforms. So in India, as we have NPTEL, SWAYAM, or MIT OpenVS, there's many platforms is available. Through that, we can deliver the educations in the remote areas where the good quality of professors and institution is not available. So same facilities we can providing them to empowering the LDCs. LDCs means the countries which is not having such kind of facilities or institutions which can providing the good quality of healthcare and good quality of education. So we can utilizing the ICT, can providing them that facilities. And through the research and innovations, in continuations, we can talk about research and innovation that is also possible through online. Means we can go through the augment of information communication technologies. We can develop some good innovations and to connect the peoples from least developed countries, encourage research and development in ICTs within the LDCs, and foster collaborations with academia, research institutions, and private sectors to drive innovations and create locally relevant solutions, whatever the solution is required from them and what is the problems they faced in their societies, though providing the appropriate solution for the the persons who is facing that some problems in the society. So this is the contribution, this can contribute to the technical advancement and economic growth. So that is research and innovations through the ICT is also be very important to empowering the LDCs. Another one is the international collaborations. That's also be very important. The peoples that already UN is identifying the countries, name of the countries which providing the international collaborations and partnerships to fostering them some kind of resources and fundings. So that international collaborations or corporations is also be very helpful through the ICT. The fosters the international cooperations and partnerships between the LDCs and development organizations, private sectors, entities, and technology providers. And this can facilitate knowledge sharing, technology transfers, and access to the funding for the ICT project. So that is also a very important strategy and verticals, which can easily empower the countries which is not having such kind of facilities, who can be taking facilities from the other countries which is having this technically sound and good quality of educations and telemedicines is already there. So they can providing that facilities to the underdeveloped countries. Regulatory frameworks and policy supports. So they need and establish a conducive regulatory environment in that countries to support the policies that promotes the ICT investment. Means we should encourage them to developing such kind of infra which is suitable for the development of the countries. So through the ICT, so they are having the more investment and innovations and competitions. And this includes the ensuring data productions and privacy laws, because if it is go through the ICTs, there may be a production threat for the data security. So there's need a production and privacy laws and intellectual property rights. If it is having something special, so they can be protected through the intellectual property rights, and cyber security measures also be needed there. Because if you go through the ICT, there is a major concern is cyber security, major concern is security. So we can aware them about the security of the informations, whatever they have produced. And then come to the digital inclusions and the gender equalities. That is also a very important points. And if you go for digital inclusions, and then gender equality is also a very important parameters. If you go through the ICTs, the peoples have addressed the digital divide and promote the gender equalities in ICT access and the uses, develop the initiatives to bridge the gaps by providing the affordable devices, internet connectivity and digital skills and training, particularly for the women. Because the peoples are always biased with women, and especially in the least developing countries. So we can talk about the gender equalities and marginalized groups. So we can empowering them. And the last point is here the international supports and aid. So that is also be required to develop the ICTs in LDCs. So encouraging the international supports and aid programs, and especially focused on ICT developed in LDCs. And this can be improved financial assistance and technical expertise, and the knowledge exchange to support the capacity building and infrastructure development. So that is always required a supports from the country which is having the better facilities in their place, and they can support them to develop the proper infrastructures for ICT. And conclude the talks, and now I will come to the conclusions. The impart, the recognize, and the implementation of these strategies required a multi-stakeholders approach with active involvement from the government, private sector entities, civil society, organizations, and international partners. So additionally, the long-term commitment, sustained investment, and regular monitoring and the evaluations are essential for achieving the meaningful and sustainable results in empowering the LDCs through ICT. Thank you so much from my side. If you have any questions, can you ask, please?
Yeah, Dr. Awasthi very clearly told about how to empower least developed country. So if anyone having any question, we can continue with Q&A session.
Well, I think the deliberation is wonderful, Dr. Awasthi. And yes, today least developed countries need, because the ICT is the most important medium wherein the least developed countries can be brought in sync with the global requirements of this. I have a small question for you. That
Yes, please.
now that we are talking about ICT in these developed countries, but in India also we have various clusters which are actually not those developed. So, do you know any policies of the government of India wherein how are we targeting those areas for information technology sharing and
Sir, can you tell me which area is I currently the ICT is not implemented in India?
Sir, if I talk about areas like uh, uh, remote areas of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, that is the area wherein connectivity is a problem, sir.
Maybe, sir, you are absolutely correct.
Yes, I have been to certain places in my last tenure, last 2 months back, and ICT connectivity was really poor and it's really difficult to get those connectivity. Even certain northeastern states also we have certain problems in certain areas. But I'm not talking about northeast, but in the heartland of India, as Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, which I'm talking about.
Means you talk about the remote areas.
Yeah, you have any idea how we can go about it or how?
Already that means the policies are well in place, but I think maybe the people are not aware of these policies. That's why the things are not in better positions in these areas, especially in Chhattisgarh, remote areas of Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand. And sometimes if you talk about the remote areas in Bengal or maybe other states, that's having the same situation due to some unawareness of the policies. So I think government has well-defined policies for ICT. I think maybe either from AICT or UGC is also having some kind of initiatives through ICT that should be well implemented. But I think I have not too much aware of why these things are not there.
Yes, because because ICT is a backbone today for any development of any country.
Of course, sir, if you want to share the information, whatever the policy the government is made, and that is only possible through communicate ICT.
Like we are doing now, we are using your services through ICT only.
Yeah, of course, sir. During COVID, that is possible through the ICT. If it is ICT is not well in place, then we cannot communicate the classes. There is a really very big for us, so we can utilize. That's why we are communicating today's. That's information to the audience, which is at their own places.
Because we at II also prefer internet connectivity, and we have a regular forum wherein we have our YouTube channels and Facebook pages, and all these mediums are there where we want to empower our budding engineers and fraternity. So that's important for us. Yes.
Yes, sir. Any other things want to add?
I think it was a wonderful talk. It was a wonderful talk, sir. We really are blessed to have you on our panel, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. But I just get that information from here and there because I'm not having so much information about ICTs regarding the LDCs. I read it first from the Googles and some other places, and I gathered this information, and I found out that information is very important. Even the underdeveloped countries are not having too much good infrastructures for ICT.
Yes, currently. It is. Even some most of the East African countries there's a problem, sir.
Yeah, sir. Even the Bangladesh, Pakistan, means Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Nepal. That's neighboring countries also having the same kind of problems. Not having proper ICT infrastructure, so they cannot deliver the information properly to the at a large community. Anything else, sir, please?
Pankaj, you can just ask if anyone has a question, otherwise we'll move to the next agenda.
If anyone having question, please ask. Okay, let's continue. And now let me join to invite our Honorary Secretary for thank you note.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Very good evening to everyone. Respected Chairman, sir, Engineer K.R. Gupta ji, my fellow FLCC committee members, and all the audience present. On behalf of the Institution of Engineers India, Faridabad Local Center, I take this opportunity to propose vote of thanks for celebration of World Telecommunication and Information Society Day. My sincere thanks to event moderator, Engineer Pankaj Kumar ji, and our expert speaker, Dr. Y.K. Awasthi ji, Professor, Department of ECE, Manav Rachna Institute of Research and Sciences, Faridabad. He has made excellent presentation and made this lecture meeting very interesting and meaningful. We learned a lot for this, the topic of empowering the least developed countries through ICT. And I believe that ICT is a key to development for the world as a whole. So I thank all our honorable II members, all the participants who blessed with their presence and took valuable time of their busy schedules. With these warm words and kind message, we move to the end of today's lecture meeting. We thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much, sir.
Pankaj ji, we can have a national anthem, please.
Yeah, please stand up for the national
Yes, sure, sir.